Hello students, welcome to the online class. Today I'll be discussing the chapter on coordinate geometry. So here in coordinate geometry, we'll be learning about the distance formula. Now the distance between any 2 points, say A, whose coordinates are x1, y1, and a point B, x2, y2, is given by AB is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole thing square plus y2 minus y1 whole thing square. This formula is called as the distance formula. Now, how to use this distance formula? We turn to the textbook page 217 of exercise 7a. The first question says, find the distance between 5, 8 and minus 3, 2. Now to start with the solution, we write the given points are, the first point we name it as A, 5, 8, and the second point we name it as B, minus 3, minus 2. Now here, the coordinates of the first point, that is x1 here, is 5 and y1 is 8. The coordinates of the second point, that is x2, is minus 3 and y2 is 2. So therefore, the distance AB is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole thing square plus y2 minus y1 whole thing square, which is the distance formula. In the next step, we write is equal to square root of, since x2 is minus 3, so we put the value here minus 3, minus x1 is 5, so we put here 5, whole thing square, plus, now since y2 is 2, so we put here 2, minus, and y1 is 8, so therefore we put here 8, whole thing square. In the next step, we write square root of, now minus 3 and minus 5 gives us minus 8. So we write here minus 8 and then whole thing square. Plus 2 minus 8 gives us minus 6. So we write here minus 6 whole thing square. It is equal to square root of minus, if you square we get plus, and 8 if you square we get 64. So minus 8 square, we write here 64, plus, again, minus if you square we get plus, and 6 if you square we get 36, so we write here 36. It is equal to square root of, now 64 plus 36, it gives us 100. So in the next step, we find the square root of 100, we get 10 units. So therefore, the distance between the given points 5, 8 and minus 3, 2 is 10 units. Let's come to question number 2. The question number 2 says, find the distance between minus 6, 7 and minus 1, minus 5. Again, for the solution, we write the given points are, the first point, we name it as A, minus 6, 7, and the second point as B, minus 1, minus 5. Again here, x1 is minus 6 and y1 is 7. From the second point, x2 is minus 1 and y2 is minus 5. So the distance between A and B will be, by using the distance formula, we have square root of x2 minus x1 whole thing square plus y2 minus y1 whole thing square is equal to square root of. Now we substitute the value of x2 here. Since x2 is minus 1, so we write here minus 1, and we're using a bracket because it is a negative sign. minus, again, x1 value is minus 6. So again, we put it inside the bracket to be minus 6 and whole thing square plus. Now y2 is minus 5, so we put here minus 5 minus y1 is 7, so we put here 7 whole thing square. In the next step, we write square root of. We open up the bracket, we have minus 1, and here we have two signs, minus and minus gives us plus, so we write here plus 6 whole thing square plus. Here minus 5 and minus 7 we get minus 12, so minus 12 whole thing square. In the next step, we write square root of. Since minus 1 plus 6 we get 5, so we write here 5 whole thing square plus. Again, here we write the same, minus 12 whole thing square. In the next step, we write square root of. Since 5 if you square we get 25, so we write here 25 plus. Again, minus if you square we get plus, and 12 if you square we get 144. So we write here 144. It is equal to square root of. Now if you add 25 and 144, we get 169. And if you take the square root of 169, in the next step, we write as 13 units. So therefore, the distance between A, B, or the given points is found to be 13 units. Let us go to question number 3. The question number 3 says, find the distance between a point A, 0, and 0, B. Again, to start the solution, the given points are, the first point we name it as A, 0, and the second point as B, 0, B. Here, x1 is A and y1 is 0, x2 is 0 and y2 is B. So therefore, the distance between A, B will be, by distance formula, square root of x2 minus x1 whole thing square plus y2 minus y1 whole thing square. The next step we write is equal to square root of. Since the value of x2 is 0, so we write here 0, so we write here 0 minus, and x1 is A, so therefore we write A whole thing square plus. Since y2 is B, so we write here B minus. Since y1 is 0, so we write here 0 whole thing square. It is equal to square root of. Now 0 minus A, we get minus A whole thing square plus, and B minus 0, we get B, so B whole thing square. It is equal to square root of. If you open the bracket, minus square is plus, so we have here A square plus, and B square units. So therefore, the distance AB is found to be square root of A square plus B square units. So students, I hope you have understood the distance formula and how to use the distance formula. And in order to enhance, to learn further, I have added this practice assignment questions. So I want that you should do this at home, and after completion, you can take a photo of this and share it in our WhatsApp group so that I can look into the progress that you have done. So we'll continue our class in the next update. Thank you.